Hey everyone, Uncle Jesse here. This is the Anycubic Wash and Cure Plus. It is the first, or at least the first that I'm aware of, mid-size wash and cure station that's specifically designed for these mid-size resin 3D printers like the Anycubic Mono X. I am crazy excited to have a much larger wash and cure unit on hand here for a lot of these larger prints that I'm up and running with these days. So I figure we'll get a few prints up and cleaned off here in the wash and cure station, and we'll see how everything goes. I'm assuming it's gonna go pretty smoothly here. I'll have links down below to Anycubic's site where you can find out more information on the Wash and Cure Plus as well. So everything unboxed really easily here with the unit, and right off the bat, I'm noticing it's about the same size and volume as the Mono X. That's already lending itself great to being able to support that larger build plate within the cleaning bucket. And speaking of, this thing is massive. This should easily be able to hold a majority of the prints that I had been running off and printing for the past year. Plus here, you'll see a good little small sample of some things that I've recently printed that will be cleaning off with this, and they should all pretty easily fit within this wash and cure bucket. Similar to their smaller version of this, it does have a metal bucket in here that you're gonna place all of your prints in, or some sort of a magnetized fan in the bottom that once it's placed in there and starts running, it's gonna swirl this around and kick up all of the isopropyl alcohol or whatever cleaning product you're using to clean off your prints inside of the bucket. And it also has a top that you can secure on so that when you're not cleaning anything, you can make sure to keep all of the liquid held tightly into this container. And I'm gonna be using 70% isopropyl alcohol inside of this container. I have a whole bunch of these that I have picked up here. This is gonna hold a ton, and I mean a ton of liquid for you, so you're gonna wanna make sure to start buying this more in bulk if you're planning on using one of these. Also not a bad idea to be wearing a respirator when working close to these materials. All right, so I've got the lid off, I've got the container up, and holy cow, is that magnet strong. Oh my goodness. That is a super strong set of magnets that are gonna hold this in place and be used to actually spin the fans around inside of this bucket. So we've got this metal container here, and I'm gonna use this to start cleaning off my prints. Let's go with DarkSeid here, DarkSeid. I never quite know how to pronounce the name of that character. This is a print from Eastman over on his Patreon page, and we're just gonna slide this right in top. All right, so I've got my print fully submerged in the isopropyl alcohol. I'm gonna use the dial to set how long I'd like this to run for, and right now it looks like I can set it in 2-minute intervals. So I'll set this to 2 minutes. It's already set to wash, and we'll press in on the button for it to start cleaning. Like Anycubic's previous wash and cure station, you're not forced to leave the top on when cleaning your prints. All right, our first prints should be cleaned and ready for us to take a look at. So I'm just trying to drain these as best I can before pulling them out of the container here. And I'll sit them on the table. And as expected, it looks very clean, and I'm seeing lots and lots and lots of amazing details on the print here that I printed off of the Mono X. I'm gonna now go ahead and clean up the rest of these prints, and we'll take a look at them. So even though this Batman print is technically sticking out of the basket, there's still more than enough room if I just poured in more isopropyl alcohol to cover the entire print. Another really great thing that they've included as part of this tray is a rack that you can actually hold the entire build plate and put it inside of the wash and cure station here. The problem is you're going to need to have this filled up pretty high here in order to actually clean off all of those prints. I would love it if I could somehow make that slightly lower into this bucket here so that I didn't have to fill this entirely with liquid in order to be able to clean directly on the build plate. Now that we've got our prints cleaned, it's time to cure them. One thing that the wash and cure stations from Anycubic include is this little reflective bottom that you can insert on the base of the cure station here, so you can easily take this on and off depending on if you're cleaning or if you're curing. This will help reflect the UV light coming from the back sensors here. The other thing that it comes with is this nice large turntable that you can easily slot in here on the base. You put your prints on here, and as it's curing, it'll spin these around so that all of the UV lights are hitting it. The other really cool thing that Anycubic has included with this is the ability to include this tilted top portion of their UV lights so that you can make sure that you're getting the top of the prints, not just the sides or the bottom with that reflection there. And this is really something that I have not seen with any of the other wash and cure stations, and I think is honestly a great addition to this setup. So not only can you wash and clean your prints because of this larger build volume of the wash and cure station, but you can also cure them. This is great. And I mean great because those smaller wash and cure stations, it was really hard and difficult to try and get the prints to fit in there when it comes to curing. You might be able to squeeze them in different orientations when it came to cleaning on the smaller, but it was almost impossible with the curing aspects. This larger build volume also means that I can fully assemble a larger miniature or some other statues before going off and curing them. So would I recommend the Anycubic Wash and Cure Plus? Yeah, wholeheartedly yes. Especially if you have a mid-size resin 3D printer, whether it's the Anycubic Mono X or one of the other variety of machines that are out there. This is an awesome, and I mean awesome, addition to your cleaning and curing setup. This is going to make my life so much easier when it comes to printing some of these larger projects that I work on, just because I don't have to break this up into smaller pieces or use my huge ultrasonic cleaner that I have in the other room. This is just a much more compact and easy to use machine. I do wish for the rinsing cycle that we had further refining options, maybe by 30-second increments versus just 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 minutes at a time. Having a little bit more control there would be nice. Also, when it comes to handling this big, huge container, as soon as it's filled with liquid, you're going to need some sort of handles for this. So you're going to want to really carefully maneuver this when you're lifting it on and off of the wash and cure station. But outside of that, I think this machine is fantastic. And here's what it's going to cost. Anycubic got back to me, and it's going to be available on April 15th at 7 a.m. PST for $169 for the first 1,000 units sold. After that, it will be $250 on their website, and it sounds like it might be up on Amazon for US buyers starting in May, which is really exciting as well. So I'll have links down below to Anycubic's site. I'll also have links to all of the models that I printed here on the Mono X. If you're interested in the Anycubic Mono X, this is a great mid-size 4K mono-screen resin 3D printer that just produces some stunning results here, and it's perfect to go with the new Wash and Cure Plus station. Yeah, this thing is absolutely fantastic. If you're in the market for a larger wash and cure station, this is by far the only thing that's out there that I'm aware of in terms of an all-in-one wash and cure station for these larger resin 3D prints. Hey, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Wash and Cure Plus, if it's something that you'd be interested in. I mean, heck, if they've gone this size, I need an extra large version. Maybe not. That's too much isopropyl alcohol. Hey, thanks so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you next time.